All right, we did it. We finally got a couple of crabs so I can show you how to clean and cook them. So it's been a long time coming, but here we go. We got a couple of beauties. There was plenty of crabs, but only 2 were legal size, so of course we only kept 2. Now we put them in the fridge so they went to sleep, because that's a humane way to kill mud crabs. We don't just be spiking them, that's a bit rough. So there's a couple of things you need when you're doing this. You need a surface like this, a bin or a bucket, something to put all the rubbish in, because this shit gets pretty messy. Don't use a good knife, just use a hard knife, not a thin filleting knife, that just won't work. So, all right, we'll get our bucket and we'll get into it. All right, so this bucket's full of salt water that I collected from the creek while I was there yesterday. Now I'm only using that to clean the crabs in. I'm not gonna cook it in that water. We'll go on and get some fresh stuff later. So first things first, just cut the tape or string, whatever you use to keep your crabs still. Cut all that off. So obviously you don't want to be eating that. Now to make sure they're dead even though they've been in the freezer, you just want to spike them. So get your knife and just straight through there. That's all you got to do, then you know they're done. So once you got your muddies there, what you're going to do next is flip them over. The triangle part, which is what tells you that it's a buck or a male mud crab, just pull that back, get the knife, press it in there, and you just want to do an incision up the middle. Once you've done that, you can take your finger in there and literally pull the crab apart. Once you got the back off, be careful not to spill that, because that's full of guts and shit. Put that in your bucket. So all this stuff, these are the dead man fingers. These are no good, they're actually poisonous, so you don't want to eat that shit. Just rip it all off and throw it in the bucket. Same as the yellow stuff, that's guts. So a lot of people will cook a crab whole. I don't know why you would ever do that, because you're cooking it in its own guts and its own shit. So give it a bit of a wash off in your bucket of salt water and you're left with nice clean meat. No nasties at all. Repeat that process until all you've got is nice clean crab meat. Alright, so now you've got all your crabs cleaned, you're ready to get the fire going and boil the water. But don't forget, when you're going to get your salt water, if you weren't prepared and didn't get it on your way back from the creek, like I'm gonna take this dirty water with all the shells and guts and shit, and I'll empty that out, then get clean water to put in the crab boiler. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. You're getting rid of all the guts and shit you don't put in a bin or in your freezer. That shit stinks. So throw it in your next door neighbour's driveway or under their car if you don't like them, and or just go dump it in the creek. That's what I do. Anyway, we'll go get some clean salt water, fire up the crab boiler and start cooking. Alright guys, now don't forget, when transporting salt water, either use a shitbox ute that you don't care about and still hose it out, otherwise it'll rust away. Tie your bucket to the side, try not to spill it. The best idea is to use a container with a lid or something. I just use the esky. Close the lid, stops it splashing out on your drive back. But there's a little hot tip for you. What do you reckon, dogs? Let's go. Righto, so I'm lucky enough to live pretty close to the beach, so a salt water source. It doesn't have to be the beach, but that's a good source of clean salt water. If you're not that close to salt water, you can just use fresh water and load it up with salt, but you don't get the same effect. Sorry, corrugation's on a dirt road. But you don't get the same taste, the same flavour. You are missing out a little bit, in my opinion. But if that's the best you can do, that's the best you can do. It'll still work. But a tip is, when you think you've put enough salt in, put a little bit more in. You'll thank me for that. But really, ideally, in a perfect world, just go and get some ocean, proper salt water. So that's what we're doing now. We'll dump the shells downstream, of course, and be collecting your cooking water full of your own shit you just dumped. So we'll let the dogs out for a bit of a run around. In the back there, they love the old ute. But yeah, we'll grab this water and get into it. Let's go back, fire up the crab boiler, and away we go. Righto guys, we're back. We have got the esky full of salt water. We've got our crab meat soaking in clean fresh water. Crab boiler, crab cooker, gas bottle. Now all we got to do, light the fire, put that water in there, put that on there. Yeah, she's going. Righto guys, so usually once you got the water on the burner, it takes about 2 or 3 beers to get it to the boil. When the lid starts moving, that's when it's time to dump the crabs in. So we'll skip until this thing is ready. All right, would you look at that? The timer just went off. So we'll just have a quick squeeze. We already know it's going good, but just have a look in there. All right, nice and bubbly. So we've got our crabs on standby. Been soaking in nice clean salt water. So now, lid off. So now all the crabs are in, guys, so you just want to make sure they're all covered. You don't need to fill the pot right up because it'll just take longer to boil. That's plenty of water. Put your lid back on. Now, the important thing is, wait until the water boils again before you start the timer. All right? So we'll get it to the boil and we'll be back.
Later that same evening.
All right, looks like the timer just went off again, guys, so we'll just make sure that this is boiling again. Sure is. So now you can set your timer to another 2 tinnies or around the 11-minute mark if you're not a beer drinker. Not a beautiful sight. You just sit there and drink beer to it, couldn't you? Oh, that's what I'm doing. Alright guys, so we're about halfway into it and realised I might be giving you a bit of a bum steer here with my timing instrument. Not everyone enjoys a tinny as much as I do, so do yourself a favour and just set a stopwatch and you'd be better off with that. Okay. Alright, time is up. We are ready to pull them out. So next step, grab your wife's favourite cooking tray. like this. Cha-ching! Okay, put said cooking tray on the ground. Turn the gas off. Nobody likes to die. One leaf was killed in the making of this video. Sorry about that. That is what victory looks like, just so you know. Alright, so this is why we do this part out in the grass, guys. So you want to drag this off the cooker. So there's a couple of ways to do it. You can just fish them out onto the pan. Because they're hot as shit. But if you just grab the end of the legs, you should be right. Drain a bit of the water out. That's better. Look at that. So we'll put the tray over here. Grab the extremely boiling fucking hot crab out with your hands because you're an idiot. Ow, ow, ow. You could use tongs if you're smart, but we're not. So there you go, guys. That is how you prepare dinner for a king and queen. Oh, fuck, that's hot. All right, don't put it in ice, you'll fuck with the taste. So that's all you got to do. Enjoy. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up. If I haven't got one out of you already, headbutt that subscribe, and I'll catch you later, eh? Cheers.